The men's 4x8 for collegiates, and then we'll have the prelims of the high school 4x4. So here we go. Men's 4x8, one big group just like the women were before the 1500. And we'll turn them loose here in a second. We have 14 entries.
And Bob, I suspect it's going to be a very similar tactical race as we saw previously in the women's, where it'll be a very large bunch of athletes for the first 650, and then someone will try to break forward, and we'll kind of just see how that pans out. But I suspect in the men's race here, it can be a lot of athletes all bunched up.
We end up with 13 teams of a line: North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Loyola of Illinois, Ohio State, Illinois, Air Force, Northern Iowa, St. Louis, Iowa, Iowa State, Kansas State. Yeah, I've liked the Air Force middle distance runners this weekend. Good group of guys here. Gordon Kowalski, Jack Quinn, Zach Petrie, Michael Rhodes, part of this group. Air Force right in the middle, as you can see, in the blue.
The Air Force distance program has always been so strong, and anymore they've got so many more middle distance runners than they have had in the past. It's always been, good 10K guys, good cross-country guys, like tough athletes that go to the academies. In this case, though, for the men and the women, they've brought a whole
much better speed.
A whole host of phenomenal athletes here.
All right, the first 400, Iowa with the lead early. Matt Manturnock. Now, the Manturnocks, remember, the Manturnock brothers went 1-2 in the high school finals last year.
We'll just like to point out that they came through in about 57 high, and in no way would that be considered a fast opening quarter for a collegiate 800 meters. So we're probably going to see a lot of movement now over this last 200 meters before they hand off to leg number 2. Iowa State now moving into the lead.
So it's all Iowa. Iowa State and Iowa. And this is a pretty brisk 800 for everybody. Look at these guys. Now, he started a little slower, but the whole pack stayed together. And this will be quite the handoff.
A little civil war happening down here. Iowa and Iowa State, with Ohio State and Kansas State all moving up, so the handoff is pretty much anybody's call.
We had one runner go down. I think that was the Minnesota leadoff runner.
Ooh, it looks like maybe an Air Force athlete hit the deck. I don't know if that was the recipient or the handoff.
Yeah, he's back up. You saw the Minnesota leadoff runner go down and come up holding his wrist. Hope that's nothing serious. So after 800, it's Iowa 152.92, Iowa State 153.14, and Ohio State 153.50, and Kansas State. And Loyola wasn't that far back. Another 4/10. So here we come for the first 400 of the second leg.
Loyola looking very good in the lead there, followed by Iowa, Iowa State, and Kansas State, and Ohio State, and Illinois, and Northern Iowa. It never ends. A little bit of a gap, though, back to, looks like the Air Force squad. As there was a little bit of a collision for them at the first handoff.
Yeah,
so we'll
looks
see
like it
what
was
happens.
Air Force and Minnesota, it looked like. Well, I don't see Minnesota even scoring, so I'm not sure who that was in the maroon. I wonder if that was the Loyola leadoff, who they obviously got the stick away clean. On the carry right now for Loyola, this is Kevin White. He's going to hand to Chandler Diffie, will be at the halfway point. Meet record 7:14.89. Boy, it's an old record, 32 years ago, Nebraska.
So Loyola, Iowa, Iowa State, Kansas State, Illinois, Northern Iowa. Even Ohio State can still stay in it if they're just patient. Because you can look at these guys right now that might be going out a little quick. But I suspect the Iowa athlete and Iowa State athlete might overtake, as Loyola probably isn't quite ready for 4 guys ready to run all 800s.
Diffie being pursued by Will Tubal for Iowa, Rashawn Rooms for Iowa State. And that group of 3 running together. the first 400. And now Will Tubal of the Hawkeyes takes the lead halfway through the third leg. This is it, one section for the 4x8 University men.
Iowa State now making a bit of a move up on Loyola. Iowa State ready to take on Iowa.
That's Rooms taking the lead.
Kansas State sneaking on the inside.
Yeah, this is getting a little tighter here now. Kansas State has Travis Hodge. And he's up to third. And here comes Illinois now with Luke Braum. And Ohio State. Kevin Blank. And this is going to be a free-for-all in the final leg. Cyclones first, then Hawkeyes, then Wildcats. Iowa State, James Dennison. Iowa, Carter Lilly. Lucas Koch for K-State. Conrad Eyring for Illinois. Jared Fleming for Ohio State. They're all off to a big start. The top five. Loyola's now running sixth. .600 to go. It's still the Civil War. Who you got, Cyclones or Hawkeyes? And this is dead even, and then that next group of Ohio State, Illinois, and Kansas State coming down to the final 400. Good pace for all five of these runners. 6:27.
Now, the big mistake would be to try to make a move right now. There's going to be a lot of movement over here the last 200 meters. So all these guys should really be thinking about is staying close as the Iowa Hawkeye now is making the move that I wouldn't necessarily recommend.
And K-State Koch pushing early, too. But we are coming together, the whole Fast Five. That second three really pushing hard. Ohio State now, Fleming. He's starting to catch up. There's your Kansas State runner up to fourth, Koch. And now Iowa will push ahead with Lilly. Can Lilly close the deal? Full pace now, Lilly, Dennison. Two guys are hurting, but they're still cranking. Ohio State up to third. K-State fourth. That's how it'll end. Actually, K-State got third. A lean by Koch, but Iowa the winner. Manternock, Van Draska, Tubal, and Lilly. And again, Matt Manterock, part of that 1-2 finish for his family at the high school meet last May.